What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Disney podcast. It has been a while since we talked to you, but we are super stoked that you are back with us. I'm here with Dave and Rob as usual, and we are ready to get things started.
On the YouTube side of things, I'm trying to get it to there we go. I did it. We're back. Hey, sorry. Thanks for the great introduction that I ruined by not switching the cameras correctly.
Way to go.
But no one will care about.
No one will care.
No. How are you guys doing? It's been a while.
It's great. All good, man. I was so excited. I'm dying to hear about your trip, and I haven't heard about it yet. So
I know.
I'm pumped.
We did a thing. We stayed in the same house together with our families, and we're still doing a podcast. So that's a win, right, Brandon?
I showed up to tape this, so we are succeeding at life indeed.
Awesome. Very cool.
A few things we need to talk about. We had tons of really cool news stories, and then last week I had like a job scare, and Brandon had family in town, and I was just not mentally stable enough to try to focus on Disney, so we postponed a week. So sorry. Will you please forgive us?
Please forgive us. Things happened. Stuff caught on fire. People got fired. Food came.
Crazy.
Food went. Things started. Things ended. There you go. We've passed the news.
It's like the circle of life.
That's right.
Rob, you've had some crazy things happen. You had we talked the last episode that you hit like 5,000 on your YouTube subscriber page, but you had 1 million views and you uploaded your 1,000th video.
Yeah, it was
we
like
need
all
your
in
horns.
All in 1 month. Oh yeah.
There it is.
April was a great month. So yeah, it was just crazy. So thanks for that.
So congrats. Here's my congrats music. That's all I got.
For the show, he has like this mystical, amazing.
I know, and I can put
anything
in here, and I can't, and don't change it. Like I still have the original intro from the show, like from 1987 that we did. So stupid.
Nice.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So Brandon and I went on vacation, and we spent a couple of days at Disney, but there's a lot to talk about there. So we're going to talk about that. What else are we going to talk about?
I think we got some May the 4th news coming up for stuff that's happening at Walt Disney World. May the 4th be with you all.
Yes.
Hopefully you'll hear this by then.
Yeah. What day of the week is that?
It's in 2 days.
Thursday.
So guess what? The podcast is releasing Thursday. Happy May the 4th. May it be with you all day.
Happy May 4th, everyone.
That's right. We'll give it to you a day early.
Nice. That's what she said. Couldn't resist. Okay.
There goes our family rating.
Yeah, you guys have some news stories, right? I mean, there's been a lot, but like I felt some of them we were just late. I'm just like, but we're gonna talk.
I feel like we were late a little bit, but I know Rob wanted to talk a little bit about some of the May the 4th stuff going on at Walt Disney World. What do you got, Rob? What are you thinking?
Well, you put me on the spot here. So there's some, let's do it together, guys.
No, it's all you.
So May 4th, it's that time of year every year. May the 4th be with you. I'm looking at the logo. All they did was tack on the 2023, but
that's right.
It's very cartoony. They have a magic band. They have a Cantina shirt, which is kind of bizarre.
Oh, that's nice.
A Cantina cup. It's usually they have a pin too. I know they have a pin. I don't see it on my notes here, but I have a couple of the May the 4th pins. I do collect pins.
Nice.
And,
okay. I have a couple of the t-shirts, but they always date them, so I just stopped buying them.
Yeah. I don't like. I love dated stuff when they're happening, and then like after that, I don't like to wear any dated material. So I don't know.
Yeah, Dave and I have conversations about that all the time. Like, there's a lot of cool Disney stuff, but like, no one wants the date on it. Like,
I know.
I was out in, we went in 2020, and it was a cold, rainy day. I wore shorts. We were in like Animal Kingdom. I wore shorts and a t-shirt, and I was freezing, but I refused to buy a sweatshirt that had the date 2020 on it. So I just froze instead of getting warm. It was stupid on my part.
I'll never forget for the Mickey's Not So Scary. Unfortunately, I've grown out of it. My wife can fit into it, but I can no longer, with all the churros that I've had, can no longer wear that shirt. But it was Mickey's Not So Scary, and like we freaked out. It might even was it maybe it wasn't a pass holder shirt, but regardless, it didn't have a date on it. I was like, I'm buying it. I should have bought it in every size.
Yeah. I remember that shirt. I think we both bought it because that's what we do.
Okay.
We buy matching clothing. But yeah, there was only one shirt that I can remember for Halloween, Not So Scary, that didn't have a date. And speaking of Not So Scary, Halloween party tickets went on sale.
That's right, they
today.
did.
Ooh, yeah.
So if you haven't gotten those, we've talked about that party
Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be right back.
I'm back.
It was a quickie.
I'm back. We've talked ad nauseum, obviously, about it on the podcast, but it's a fun party.
Yeah.
Buy your tickets because they will sell out.
Now, speaking of like shirts and dated shirts, like I've also, like, every time I've gotten the May the 4th, I also always get the Revenge of the 5th, and it always has Goofy on it. Does the shirt of Goofy, because Goofy like plays Darth Vader like in the park or something? I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's tall, but like I have like a May the 4th be with you and a Revenge of the 5th, like, and I always buy them both because we used to go every year. I think we've talked about this on the show, but like way back when Disney Hollywood Studios was so cool and they had Star Wars days, and like for May the 4th they would have these huge like parades and like actors and stars, and they'd have like really obscure like character dress ups that are part of the whole Star Wars canon. Like, it was so rad. So I just started going every year, and the first time I went and every year after, they didn't do that anymore.
Yeah, they used to do a lot of cool stuff. But,
yeah, they did. I still have a video on my phone. Like, we were up by the stage where the sorcerer hat used to be, where they came out and did that show.
Yeah.
And like, I have a video of all the characters walking off and like, making angry faces at the camera or like pointing. Like, I'm never going to get rid of it because it'll never happen again.
I know.
That's awesome.
And you won't be able to sleep at night without it because it's creepy.
That's correct. It's creepy.
But so I did see that there's some like special food related stuff. At least didn't I see some like churros, but you could get it with like or was that just a picture that they made? Like, but they had colored churros, but they looked like the handle was like a lightsaber handle.
Yeah.
Is that like something you can buy, or is that just for the fun pictures?
I'm looking through the article and I feel like it was.
I saw it and now I can't find it. So
I feel like it was just for the pictures. I mean, you can get colored churros, but I don't think they come with the fun lightsaber. Oh no, lightsaber churro served with chocolate sauce.
Nice.
Sounds good.
So it looks like a cheap little handle thing with a red or a blue churro coming out of it. There's some cool looking Darth Maul cakes. And
in case you're wondering, that is not a natural food color.
It's got a little bit of red dye, number 40.
It looks like a slushy churro. Like, I know it's a churro, but if you look at it, it looks like, oh, it's a Slurpee that's like frozen. It's very phallic. We just need to move on.
Yeah, I love the Princess Leia Galactic Princess Sundae with the cinnamon buns on the side to make it look like her hair.
That's a good one. That one, I did just see that one. That one's fun. My personal favorite is the Wookiee cookie.
Yes, just like saying Wookiee cookie.
Just because I like to say it.
Right.
Would you like a bite of my Wookiee cookie?
There it is. And whenever they show the Wookiee, it's always like his cross thing that is strap that he on. So that's
Now I think what folks will go nutso, and starting yesterday when you hear the show, there is a Grogu sipper.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, that'll be on eBay, no problem.
Yes, you will be able to buy one on eBay for $160.
It's too funny. It's probably on there now. I gotta look. So
oh, and that looks like there's also at Ronto Roasters where you can get one of the best snacks, the Ronto Wrap.
Agreed.
It looks like there's a light up acid spitter orb sipper. That seems kind of fun.
That rolls off the tongue.
Grogu is $60 on eBay, plus $12.55 shipping. So
that was only $100 off.
That's pretty good. So yeah, lots of fun food. And the one thing I did
like, can we say that again? Acid spitter orb sipper.
The acid spitter orb spitter.
Can you I want to be in the room for that meeting. It's almost like, could you imagine like, hey guys, come here. Dude, I put this on there and they're gonna go with it. That's literally what that looks. Who would think like, yeah, acid spitter orb sipper? Yeah, oh yeah, let's get that.
That sounds great. Let's do it. And
the funny thing, light up.
So it lights up, yeah.
It lights up. But the funny thing is, like, you can get 5 per person.
So maybe they like to juggle. I don't know.
I guess they like a lot of acid sipper
There's no
sports
picture of it. I
spinners.
got to see a picture of
Oh
this.
yeah, if you scroll down
it's
in
on the blog
article,
Mickey link.
if you scroll down on the blog Mickey link, it's right below the unnatural churro lightsaber picture.
Inappropriate picture. And it reminds me of the Coke and Sprite and Diet Coke like thermal detonators.
Yeah.
It definitely has that vibe.
Yeah.
But it looks like it has a pin that you pull and it blows up.
Spits acid. It spits acid at you, apparently.
That looks crazy.
I found with this.
I did sell. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. You go.
Changing subjects a little bit. So, is there anything else we saw here, or
no? The only thing I wanted to mention was that it looks like you're not going to be able to just walk up and buy the merchandise. There's a virtual queue for all of it, so there's not going to be a standby line. So if you plan on going to Hollywood Studios on May the 4th, make sure you get in the virtual line.
Yeah,
it looks neat.
I feel like there's a lot more food offerings than before, right? That feels not normal.
The merch is an afterthought, but there's a ton of food. So,
but the fact that Grogu sipper is going to be magnanimous, especially because the 3rd season is it already over?
It's over. Yeah,
have they aired all the episodes?
It was really good. Yeah.
Good. Now I can binge it.
It's definitely good.
So yeah, May the 4th. Enjoy it.
Enjoy everyone.
I did celebrate early Sunday. I was so excited. My son and I and my friend Dan, we went to go see Return of the Jedi in the theater. Which
I saw that it was going to be in the theater.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It was so fun because my son, he's only seen like 1 or 2 because he's still young. He's 12. We've seen a couple at home, but he's never seen. He's believe it or not, he's a Solo and now Return of the Jedi. 2 random movies out of all the Star Wars movies. We've seen them. We're starting to watch them at home and stuff, but. I was his age when I saw it in the theater, so I was all excited. I brought him. It was like a manly thing. Bring your son to go see Return of the Jedi. And I'll tell you what, it looks phenomenal. It looks really cool. Definitely, obviously some of the effects are dated and stuff. And my big issue with the Star Wars older movies is, like we're so jaded with these movies nowadays. They look phenomenal,
Yeah.
And, like the effects were just, they look like they're from 1983, which they are, but they redid some of those couple special effects years ago, and then kind of reminded they brought him back again. So, but it was cool. It was I definitely recommend it. I saw Jaws in IMAX last summer, and then I saw Return of the Jedi.
Very
on
cool.
Sunday. It was really good.
I feel like the overall picture quality had to have been great, right? Because anytime they transfer,
Jaws looked like it was a brand new movie.
Yeah, 35 millimeter film just held up so well. All those transfers, and then like they redid the effects.
Yeah, they do.
And like that's probably part of the problem. The original ones probably look better.
Yeah, I like the puppets better. Give me the puppets.
That's right.
It was a lot of fun.
So yeah, there's all of your May the 4th be with you and Revenge of the 5th. But no, doesn't look like there's a Revenge of the 5th t-shirt.
So no, I have not seen one.
Maybe I should put mine on eBay, and that way I can buy a Grogu sipper.
There you go. There you go. Good thinking.
Or that other one, what's it called? Itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini sipper.
The acid spinner.
No, you're gonna say something wrong and inappropriate, so don't even try it.
The acid spitter sipper stipper.
Yes, thank you for not.
Spitter. I'm trying to say it slow. Someone mess up. Orb sipper with my beard.
And get you a unnaturally food colored churro, which churros are really good. And they're warm. It's so good. Anyway, okay. Now I'm just getting hungry. All right. Rob really wanted us to unpack our trip. It should be brief. We only went 2 days to Disney.
Okay.
We did.
I unpacked like 2 weeks ago. Dad joke for the win.
There it is. I finally got to use it correctly. Yeah. So we went. We did Magic Kingdom, and we did Epcot.
You got to remind everyone, when was the last time you were there too, though? So,
oh yeah, the very first October 1st, 2021 was the last time I'd been to
first
Disney.
day for Dave. Obviously, I've been there since then, but for Dave, yeah, first day of the 50th anniversary celebration, 263 months ago.
Every time you mention the length of anything, I crack up, Brandon.
I know, because it's so absurd, but like so is the length of their events. I mean, I guess Brandon lives there, so I guess I'll unpack like the Dave experience, and Brandon can chime in with useful information as I go. Does that sound like a good plan or just dumb?
That sounds great, dude. I'll interrupt you when necessary.
Great. Okay, so went to Magic Kingdom. The first half of the day was great, and then the weather set in, but it was fine. It was really cold.
It was
that was
it was
unexpected.
definitely cold.
We did do Genie Plus, right?
Yep.
And we tried to do Lightning Lane that morning, but there was a really weird, so we were staying in a rental home and like an Airbnb, but we did it through Verbo. And weirdly enough, we discovered after it was too late to get the 7 a.m. Tron, that our Wi-Fi was the problem. I got off, we kept seeing it. It was just like, there's nothing available yet. And I'm like, Brandon's like, dude, I've never seen this before. It's like 701, 701, 702, 703. And he's like, well, it's gone now, or it's just not working. So we started searching Twitter, like Disney. I was trying hashtag whatever Lightning Lane. I was trying to do all the stuff nothing. I'm like, what is going on? And so I just randomly thought at 7:08, I'll just turn off Wi-Fi. And then it loaded. It was like, this is closed and currently full. Try back again at 1 o'clock. I'm all like, how? And that work. And so we went back on Wi-Fi and got the same thing. Like, there are none. And so weirdly, there was some weird internet issue. Win of the day, though, was we got it at 1 p.m.
We did. And so just unpacking what Dave said, obviously we did Genie Plus. So Dave was here during the height of spring break. So Genie Plus was $35 a person.
Times 4 for us.
Wow.
The day we went to Magic Kingdom. So Dave and I were joking. And so we did the Genie Plus, and then we wanted to make sure we rode Tron, right? This is the only time they were going to be there. So we bought the individual Lightning Lane for Tron, which was $20 a person. So again, this is height of spring break. So super, super expensive. Dave and I were joking and laughing, and we're like, hey, we've spent $300 and we haven't even entered the park yet. So we did end up getting 2 of them. Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
It was worth it. And I'll tell you why. And that is because it had been 2016 since my wife had been there. The kids had gone a lot, and we went a lot during COVID because it was super low crowds. It was pretty inexpensive to fly then. I mean, so I kind of capitalized. And so really all I cared about was making sure that the fam got to ride all the stuff that was new. Like we'd done everything else. How do we make sure? And so it was worth it to pay that money. And we got the 1 o'clock, Lightning Lane.
Virtual queue.
Thank you.
Virtual queue. Yeah.
There's too many new things. So we did get to ride it twice. I poo-poo things a lot before I get there. And shame on me. I typically eat my words. This is another case. It was amazing. I was really impressed. It didn't, I guess it helped because we rode Barnstormer right before that. So it seemed like a 10-minute ride after riding Barnstormer. I was very
I love that solution,
impressed.
By the way.
Was very impressed. And then basically after 5 o'clock, the weather was crap. And we stayed. It cleaned up for the fireworks, and we decided to go all the way to the back. We stood at the train station and watched it for 2/3 of it. Then we ran to the monorail and listened to the rest of it and left. And so it was easy getting out of the parking lot. So that was not our kids' favorite day, mostly because the rain it made it challenging, right? It's just hard to kind of navigate that, and everybody flocks to every indoor line ride because just stand in line. So it and I feel like we navigated the Genie Plus well, though. I felt
I feel like we did it well as a local who never uses it. I feel like it allowed us to do a lot of things. I mean, when we first got there, we jumped on Haunted, we did Pirates, we did Mermaid, all within the first hour of being there. So we knocked out a good amount of attractions and felt like it was $35 well spent. Now, my wife came over later, and we also included her in the Genie Plus purchase, but she came over later because the baby was sleeping and the weather was awful, and she wasn't sure if she was going to come over. But by the time she made it, she rode Winnie the Pooh. So we
for $35.
We joked that she paid $37.50 to ride Winnie the Pooh. So if you don't know if you're going to make it to the park, it's probably not wise to do it. But
that's right.
It was good to make sure that we got to do, if you're only going to be at a Magic Kingdom one day of your vacation, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Definitely worth
And
it.
right now the crowds are fantastic. It's definitely the calm before the summer storm.
Correct.
But like I don't want to say it wasn't bad, but like it paled in comparison to the day we had at Epcot. Our Epcot day was phenomenal, and it was our kids' favorite day too. It was great. And like, I mean, I don't want like weather didn't ruin it, but it made it more challenging. And it felt, I should talk a
You
little
had
bit
bad
about
weather at
Magic
Epcot
Kingdom.
too?
So first of all, let me back up and say, other than the rain that day, the weather overall was phenomenal. Like it never got to 80 degrees the entire week we were there in Florida during April. So it was gorgeous weather.
Mid-70s.
Like the temperature was it was unfreaking believable. Like that was the highlight of the week, was just that, like, it was so pleasant to be outside and go sit out by the pool, because it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be out here. It's so hot. So there was that. Now, we went to Epcot the next day, or we skipped a day and then went to Epcot. Spent the entire day there. Felt like I'd have to go back, and I should have wrote it all out. Feels like we rode way more with Genie Plus at Epcot than it was at Magic Kingdom. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. Maybe just everybody was in a better mood because it wasn't rainy. I don't know. Kim was just like, it felt like we did a whole lot more. And so to bounce back to Magic Kingdom, the biggest takeaway that Kim had from Magic Kingdom and why she didn't enjoy it that much is everything felt so regimented and planned and scripted out, and there wasn't a lot of freedom to just be about it, right? And that is not Disney's fault. Let me explain why. So I think it has a lot to do with how busy it is, right? I mean, it was spring break. It was a busy time of year. You're going to experience that, during the rush of summer and the holidays coming up this year. But I also think it was like we were there for one day. Like almost every time we go to Magic Kingdom, I had annual pass, so we could park hop, and we made sure that we hit Magic Kingdom a couple times, because that's overall, like, as our family, that's the biggest win for us. It has the most attractions. So we knew that we had one day, right? And then the way Genie Plus works is I learned, like, sometimes there were pretty decent gaps in between, like, oh, you could find one. I mean, we would pound the app trying to find the best, like, new closest times. But as always, as it always turns out, is like they're on this one we can do this hour, and it's clear on the other side of the park. That happened like every single time.
That was the one thing I was going to say that's very different from Fast Pass. Like Fast Pass, once you exhausted your 3, you could find one that was kind of
convenient. I'm gonna get
Genie Plus. You kind of have to grab what you can, so you would go to Pirates, to Barnstormer, to Big Thunder, to Space Mountain, to, like, it was just
it was all over the place.
It's just everywhere. So
but that's okay. I mean, we knew what we were getting into, and then we stayed the whole day, but like didn't do much after like 6 o'clock. I think we rode what did we do? Because we did Tron twice. That was the benefit. It kind of worked out. The rides were almost within 1 hour of each other, so that was kind of cool. So we rode Tron, went and ate, and then came back and rode Tron again. And then you guys we got separated, and you guys kind of headed out, and I think all we did was Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, you did.
And then we went back and watched the fireworks. So that was a day. Epcot, don't even want to unpack it. We woke up on
the
Epcot
second
morning.
time. Yeah, the second time we rode it, it was night-ish, so the lights were on. It looked
so cool,
so much better than the day.
Okay, so Epcot, we knew the Wi-Fi situation at the rental house, and so we knew to not be on, and so we did Genie Plus and got it. So we didn't pay for a lightning lane, but we got it, and that's all. And then we were in like group 10. We were like, oh God, we got to get up and get there. We're like literally on the Skyliner, and it was Brandon's like, oh, we've already been called. No, we were on the way to the Skyliner. Like, our group's already been called. I was like, I'm sorry, what? And it was like 8:04. I was like, the park doesn't even open for another 45 minutes, and we've already been called. But we made it, no problem.
For Guardians, you were saying?
Okay. For Guardians. So Dave was freaked out. So the Guardians virtual queue and the Tron virtual queue are two very different situations right now. Tron virtual queue, you have to go within the hour that you are allotted as far as when you're called. Tron or Guardians, you can come anytime after you're called within reason. I've still heard of them letting people, they get the.
Yeah, I had my pass for 9 a.m. and I went like noon. So
and so they get that, and then they show up at 7 p.m. and they let them on. So very different. I kept reassuring Dave. I was like, "Don't worry, when we get there, they're gonna let us on, even though they're on group 25."
And we were only like 15 minutes late. I mean, it was like, and I remember even fast pass days. That was a pretty reasonable, like, I don't know, time after. So here's where we can start to unpack these two.
I gotta ask, what song did you get? That's the.
I couldn't even tell you.
Oh no, you forgot.
No, I didn't even pay attention.
Definitely wasn't September, because I've never gotten September.
So here's where I want to unpack. Right. So let's camp out. So I rode the two newest attractions. To my surprise, and to the very, very unpopular opinion, I think Tron smokes Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't even compare for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I know why. I grew up with Tron, enjoyed the original movie, didn't care for the newer film. The music was good, but loved the story of it all. And I have not seen one Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not a Marvel guy, and I think we've talked about this before, and people throw tomatoes and send bad emails. Like the structure of the ride and how it was really cool. It was very cool. It was awesome to sit with my son. I got to sit with my son on his first ride of Tron and his first ride of Guardians. I was really excited about that. Like the logistics and everything. I wasn't like, I feel like this happens all the time. People are like, it's the best thing Disney's ever. And I'm all like, it was cool. Like it was not I'm glad we didn't pay for it, but we paid for it clearly because we had a ticket. Yeah, I don't know. Like I wasn't like, I thought Tron was just so much cooler. And I think it has a lot to do with like when you go into that, not to spoil it, the video room, and then like 10 seconds, and then I was all like, oh, that was really cool and unexpected because I had not watched anything on either one. And now I will bail myself out, aka here comes the excuse. This was the first time that our son had really, like, he came when he was 3.5. So this was big, like big boy pants for him. And he did Tron the first time, and I think he was shell shocked, but I think once he came down, he was ready to do it again, and he loved it. And so that gave me the confidence, because Brandon was like, if he didn't like this, I would not do Guardians. I was like, oh, okay. So the fact that he rode Tron twice gave me the confidence. Well, I sat with him, so I was hyper focused on how he was doing. I was like, is he freaking out? Is he enjoying this? So I probably would have benefited that day from riding that twice like we did Tron. So, I mean, was it good? Yeah, it was awesome. I didn't walk away as best attraction Disney's ever made. And like, that's the common going theme that I hear. For me, Flight of Passage still stands on a pedestal by itself when it comes to that. And I think it was just, I have never audibly gasped and said, oh, wow, at different volumes 37 times on a Disney ride, but I did on Flight of Passage. I just think it blew me away so much that everything else just doesn't come close. I don't know. Like, is that anyway? I'm done making excuses. I didn't like it as much as I did Tron. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, right. I agree. I enjoyed Tron. The first time I rode Tron, like obviously with 1,875 days, like the anticipation was super high, and like you were like, this has got to be like the best thing I've ever been on. It's taken 5 years to build, and I was super disappointed the very first time I rode it. But these times with you guys, one, we talk about experiences, and like that's what makes Disney. Like I got to ride it with you guys, so that was like.
And until he comes back, the picture that we have, he wrote it. Brandon wrote it with my son the second time, and then picture of them. Oh, you're back. Okay, you're back.
And then I went away. So experiences, obviously, like I was talking about. And then I knew what to expect so I could enjoy the experience more. Yeah. So again, like you saying that for Guardians, now that you know what to expect on it, maybe it's more enjoyable next time. I don't think Guardians is the best thing that Disney's ever made. I think it's an enjoyable experience that sometimes makes you feel like you're going to throw up.
And it's very unique. Like that's what's cool about it. Like that's its standout features is it's so different than any other that style of ride that you've ever been on. Right? It's not the most unique ride ever. It's on that style of, I guess it doesn't matter. Like it's a roller coaster ride that does different things than you would expect on a roller coaster. Like that's what's great. Now, Rob, you wrote it.
Yeah,
I know you haven't done Tron, but like, what do you think? Is it better than Flight of Passage for you?
I think I put him. Guardians was all right for me. Like I didn't think it was. I probably have about the same feelings you do. I liked it. And to be honest, like if you are going to watch Marvel movies, Guardians,
those are the good
comes
ones.
out. The new one will be out. What were you saying, Brendan? Sorry.
No, I said if you're gonna watch, I'm gonna agreeing with you though. If you're gonna watch Marvel movies, watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel movies.
Yeah, I would say Guardians, Avengers, and like I'd say like Iron Man. Those three are like.
Oh, I did see the original Iron Man.
Watch those. But like I definitely feel if you watch the movies, you definitely get more of a sense of the characters and everything. And just I love the obviously I'm old school Epcot. I love everything. So I'm still bitter Universe of Energy's not there, let alone Ellen's Adventure or whatever. But it's good. Like I liked it. I thought the actual roller coaster was pretty cool. It just seemed like a roller coaster on steroids. So
yeah,
it was good. But I see your point though. Like I grew up with Tron too. Like I loved Tron when I was a kid, and I think I'm gonna love it too. So I'm excited about it. So and I probably will like Tron better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So I'm definitely agreeing with you. Not even going on Tron. How's that? So
that's blind faith. I like it.
No, and the weather for the second ride, like that's when I said earlier, imagine like we got really cold when we were walking back for our second ride. It was, the wind was whipping, it was freezing. And one of the great designs of Tron is it can run during the weather. Probably not lightning, but it's completely covered even when it's outside. So that was a really smart design choice, and I'm sure that's because they did it in like the weather in Shanghai is not as great as it is in middle of Florida. So, but I think Florida will benefit because there's heavy downpours and stuff when you wouldn't want to be on a ride that's outside like that. It was just a good design choice that transferred well to Florida as well as it did with Shanghai. I think I don't know. I've never been to Shanghai, but good design choice, Disney.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to add about
thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Nice. I wanted to add Guardians too. I got, I asked you what song because I love music and that's one of the takeaways when you see the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. The music is phenomenal. You love the music and everything. One of my favorite all-time songs is "Everyone Wants to Rule the World" by Tears for Fears.
Oh, great!
I rode the ride once, and that's the song I got. So, I was so lucky to get that. And for me to I was so happy that I got that song, and just to hear the song when you're walking off the ride and everything. Yeah. So, I did want to add that too. So,
ours was One Way or Another.
Okay.
It was. Yes, that's what it was.
I was looking at the list while we were talking about it, and it was definitely One Way or Another. I
will say for our family, the win of the day was, and this was huge for me too. It had been years since I'd ridden Test Track. I don't know why I never thought let's go get Single Rider Line, but I was always looking at the time. I'm like, I'm not going over there. What if Single Rider Line's not open? We rode it. Like everybody is now old enough that they can ride by themselves. So all 4 of us could get in the single rider, and it wasn't a big deal. What's like before, Kim can't do that with Isaiah. Like we can't, and so it was just like, we'd have to leave somebody out. So we got to ride it in the single rider ride 3 times that day. So that was a huge win.
Were you guys ever together anyway? Or
do what?
Were you together anyway? It was a single rider?
We every time we were at least in the same car. So it worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. The one time I rode it with you guys, it was me and Zay in the car. And then it was you, Micaiah, and Kim in the car behind us. It was super.
Saved so much time with that.
And we capped off the day. And I didn't expect this, but it was a huge win for Kim and the kids. I didn't we were trying to we ended up dividing and conquering, but that wasn't the idea. We were at Test Track. I think we were somewhere on that side of the park, and we have been trying all day to get reservations. Oh, we were in the
Creations.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mouse Gears, whatever the new name is. And so we were trying to get via Napoli all day, and it just was nothing. And I was like, well, gosh, we're way over here. I don't want to walk all the way over there for them to just be like, yeah, didn't you look on the app? There's no reservations, you idiot. So that's what I was totally expecting. And Krista had joined us with the baby at that point. And so we kept looking, and I was like, okay, well, we got a reservation for the Seas. Is that what it's
Coral
called?
Reef.
Coral Reef.
Yeah.
So close. We should not play trivia with Dave and Disney names. Yeah, it was the Seas at Animal Kingdom with Coral Reef.
Mickey sit down, yeah.
And it's a character dining meal for breakfast. No, but we got a reservation, and they we only put 4 on there because we got it. But I was like, we're gonna go over there, and I was like, hey, we got 2 more and a baby, and I don't know what happened. Like, we didn't forgot to include them. They're like, yeah, we can add them. Well, I don't know, luckily, but Brandon and Krista were all the way over there, and they were like, it's only a 10-minute wait, we're gonna do it. I was like, okay, well, we're already sitting, so let's divide and conquer. But our family really enjoyed
via Napoli.
We really enjoyed Coral Reef. The waiter was awesome. So there was a couple of I'm gonna spoil this for everybody, but I don't care. So there was a couple things. It was Kim's. The next day was 2 days later was Kim's birthday, so we made sure and got her birthday button so all the cast members hounded her. Well, we all had a great meal, and of course, if you're not familiar with Coral Reef, it is connected to the Seas. It's just to the right of Finding Nemo, and you can what would be windows is 4 big panes of glass that you can look into the Seas aquarium. So it's really cool atmosphere. Our food was
theater style too, so it's stacked, so you get a good view into the tank.
Yeah, so the food was good. It wasn't that expensive, I didn't think, for a sit-down restaurant. And then we got the kids special drinks with a take-home cup, and then right at the end he brings Kim a dessert for her birthday. Well, here's what's crazy. Did I mention that we got our kids special drinks with a souvenir cup?
Yes,
I said that, right?
Yep.
The server didn't charge us for any drinks. Nothing.
That's great.
So I was like, oh, we're I'm like, servers, let me zoom in on me. This is important for you to know. If you want a better tip, don't charge your people for drinks, because I literally asked for a menu and looked up the drink costs and tipped him what we would have charged us for drinks. So there you go. You want more money? Don't don't charge me $3.95 for a Coke. Just saying. I'll give it to you.
Or just something a little extra. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So anyway, it was just when we don't typically do this, but I wanted to do. I was like, hey, what was your favorite part of the trip? At the end of the trip, we went around the room with Brandon and Krista, and everybody mentioned everybody in our family mentioned the dinner, and so I was like, and that was just hey, let's try to find a sit down, because since we saved $340 not getting lightning lane or the virtual queue. Am I saying it right? I don't know. Do not come to me for
Genie
Disney.
Plus, Genie something. I don't know.
No, we got Genie Plus.
You didn't buy the individual lightning lane.
That's it.
Got it. Individual lightning lanes. Got it.
So since we saved that $380, we decided to do a sit down meal.
Nice.
And it's very if you know Dave's family, it's very hard to get Dave's family for people to all agree on anything. So the fact that they all agreed that the dinner was the best part.
Yeah, who knew? Who would have thunk it? So it was great. And I think I want to say, I don't have to find something here. Not that one. Maybe. Nope.
We need the magic.
Nope. Okay, here we go.
Can you label that stuff?
I found the right one. I think the most important thing to share is that although it didn't happen on our trip, I am excited to say that I am back in the family. I am an annual pass holder again. So I'd like to thank the Academy.
I'd like to thank 38 minutes to get to it. But
I'd like to thank my empty wallet. I'd like to thank the many trips that I'll be scheduling.
Well, hold on a sec. You got your season pass, but it didn't even count towards your last vacation.
No, it was I called and asked, but it was what did it come out about a week after Brandon? Or
10 days, week 10 days, something like that.
So if it happens during your fun fact, if you're on vacation now or you're getting ready to go this summer, and they're as of right now, they're still selling annual passes. if you happen to get one, you can apply your trip as long as there's 1 day left on your like current tickets that you bought. You can apply the total of what you spent toward your annual pass. The total that you spent for one person.
And you didn't get to do that because you used it.
Yeah, because we were already back home when that. But I asked. But I'm back in the club.
How long from the time you dialed the phone? How long did it take you to speak to someone?
Oh no, it's all anime. It's all digital. I didn't have to talk about it.
Okay. How long did it take you once you got entered the queue?
To where I could purchase them?
Correct.
7 hours and 2 minutes.
Oh Jesus! I heard it was some people.
Like it didn't bother me because I would open up the screen every now and then and be like, oh, it still says over an hour, and then I got home that night and I just kept watching. And
wait, time out though.
Then it says 42 minutes. I was like, oh, we're within the hour.
But like right now, I can go on and buy a pass.
I know.
And wait 10 seconds, right?
Literally the next day, it was instant. But they always get you because they say we're opening these back up for a limited time.
Yeah.
Disney is their
geniuses.
Yeah, definitely
absolute geniuses.
They are geniuses at creating a frenzy as far as like you need this. Remember on the 50th, those stupid purple Starbucks cups that people were punching each other for in the Emporium and pushing cast members. Like they're on every shelf now for $12. Like just wait 5 minutes, you can get it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I was like, maybe they aren't going to open it. Like, and it even said at the bottom, it said, just because you're like in the queue does not guarantee that you will get. Like, I mean, they had it all. They had me. I was like, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get it.
Oh,
it's like it's not going to happen.
7
wait,
hours.
I need that. Is this the sad music? Oh wait. So I was scared that I wouldn't be able to get my annual pass, so I waited for 7 hours and 2 minutes. And finally, I was victorious.
All right, so I've been waiting. What'd you think of Ratatouille?
Well, as it turns out, we didn't get to ride it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We toyed with the idea because we took the there's a whole other fiasco that I'll just say in one sentence. It was fine. We actually drove to. We had decided that we were going to add park hopper to that day. And so we drove to Hollywood Studios and took the Skyliner over. So we didn't end up going just basically because, I mean, it was frustrating, but I get it. Like you cannot, like if you want to add park hopper to a 2-day pass, like you have to buy the 2-day park hopper, even if you've already used your pass. Like even if you like, I had literally gone to Magic Kingdom 2 days ago and couldn't apply a park hopper to that day. But the way that the rules are, like you buy a park hopper for 2 days, you have to purchase it for both days. If you so it was the way I purchased the ticket. Now, if I'd have bought 2 separate days, if I'd have bought 1 day here and 1 day here, I could have added it. It'd been fine. It was just the way that I purchased it.
I think it's like even if you buy like a 4-day, you have to add it to all 4 days as well.
Yes,
you can't just do one day.
That's why I passed.
Whether you do it on the first day or you do it on the 4th day, there's 4 days of park hopper.
Yep. Yeah. Which I get it, but like I feel like that's something you like really like we can't bend the rules for that.
Dave turned into one of those people they had to call.
Security. They do not have to call security on me. I wanted to say it out loud. I was like, so what you're telling me is I have to buy something that I physically cannot use. Like, I was like, I wanted to repeat. I said, I want you to say this out loud so you can understand the logic. You're requiring me to buy something that I'm not able to use. I was like, how is that legal? That's what I told him.
Dave just kept going, that's illegal.
I was like, that is illegal.
So I guess you didn't get it.
No,
because it was almost
to the seas.
Yeah.
To go
you took it and went to the seas or the coral seas or the
dinner. Yeah, we went to dinner at Animal Kingdom at the Coral Reef Seas restaurant for breakfast. That's a park hopper character meet and greet. Okay, let's wrap this puppy. So to answer your question, no, we didn't because I think. Like we were so hyper focused on like riding as many rides as we could. And by the time we got Guardians of the Galaxy and we could get the next one, I mean, it was like 6 o'clock at night, you know, and we didn't want to have that long gap to where we couldn't like, sorry, I'm just going to say it, fast pass any other rides. So we just didn't, we kept putting it off, and we were like, we'll check at the end of the night, because we knew we were exiting that side of the park. We would be close, but it was still like an hour and 20-minute wait when we left. And so I didn't want to make, at the end of a long day, and it was a great day, I didn't want the kids to have to stand in line for 2 hours to, and like, because we've done it, it's not worth a 2-hour wait. It's just not. Like I've done it in France and Florida. So yeah,
I didn't know if the kids did it or your wife did it. So.
Yeah, she loves that movie. So we'll go back. I got an annual pass.
Awesome.
Okay, now okay, we're 88 weeks into this episode. We should talk about we have a topic for you.
We do.
I loved it. Thanks for sharing your stuff.
Well, Brandon had a great idea, but I thought it was going to be too long of a show. So we will circle the wagons on that. But I said, what if we do, what did I call it? I didn't, underrated attractions at Walt Disney World, which we've kind of done this kind of stuff before, where we've done some like overrated, underrated. I don't know if we covered these particular ones, but I just thought, I said, well, let's do a little bit different. Let's pick one from each park that, I mean, I thought they were underrated. Rob didn't really get a say. I feel bad.
No, I agree. I agree with all of them. Yeah.
And so we picked one attraction from every park that we would say, you know what, this is underrated, and here's why. Is that fair? Is that a good way to tackle it? Okay, I think we should kick off with the top one, because I think Brandon would have said this just because, I mean, I know the guy's not there anymore, but there's a story as to why I think we love this attraction so much. So I'll let you go. We'll start off at Hollywood Studios in alphabetical order.
Yes. at Hollywood Disney's Hollywood Studios. Yep. Yes. Nope, that still doesn't work. Animal Kingdom still beats that. Yeah, so at Hollywood Studios, we think the most underrated attraction would be the Frozen sing-along. And I just love, I mean, I love this experience. I mean, I guess we call it an experience. I don't even call it an attraction. It's just a full experience that has something for everyone, which is why I think it's underrated.
Yeah, it's yeah. Sorry, I should probably go back. We picked all of these because we thought that they were good for the entire family. Like there could be some kind of fun and enjoyment. And why we say that is this show is really geared toward dads with daughters who had to watch Frozen 47 times when they were like toddlers.
Dave, just let it go, Dave.
Yes.
I had to say it. Sorry.
You know, okay. So from a production guy, selfishly, well, first of all, that theater is super comfortable and it's really cold in there. And the sound and the screens are phenomenal. Like a major concert phenomenal. Like it sounds amazing in that room. So like, that's the first thing that I was, I'm like, ooh, it sounds so good. Like, so state-of-the-art equipment in there, the state-of-the-art video screens go on there. And it literally is a sing-along. But if you haven't experienced this, there are several live actors, and spoiler alert, you get to see some of the cast from Frozen. Like as live action people, but there are these narrators or storytellers. There's a guy and a female, and the way this is scripted, it is absolutely hilarious. I mean, you will, if you don't laugh, you should probably dig a grave. It's just really funny. And I think it really gained steam and momentum, 4, 5, 6 years ago with Ben.
Yeah.
So I'll let you talk about him.
Yeah. So there was this gentleman who he helped write the show. His name was Ben. He goes by Equity Ben on Instagram and Twitter and things like that, TikTok. But he just brought an air of hilarity to it. And the best part about it is there are jokes for the young and older alike. And there's a lot of stuff that only adults would get.
Yeah.
And great humor, which is why I think, while Dave and I obviously think it's good for the whole family, there's something for everyone, you know, much like many of the Pixar movies, there's a lot of adult humor in that stuff as well. So that's why I love it. Like, you're always going to laugh. Like Dave said, I guess, dig your grave if you don't laugh. But yeah, it's just a great experience. There's been plenty of times I've been at Hollywood Studios by myself and gone to it. So that tells you how enjoyable it is.
Rob, have you done it?
Yeah, of course. I know. I've heard of Equity Ben, so I actually just looked them up on Instagram to make sure.
So funny.
It's fun. I think we went during the holidays. They have a holiday like overlay too. They
Oh, nice. Okay.
they have like a holiday song in there, so which is kind of cool. So
Nice.
I like that. But yeah, it's like, and my impression, the number one thing I remember was the amazing screens and just the quality. And
Yeah.
It was like 10 million P. That's what I always joke with Dave. I'm like, that is the clearest screen I've ever seen in my life.
Probably my least favorite of the list of everything, but it's still good though. Like you just
Yeah.
sold me on it too. I forgot about all the cool stuff on it, but yes.
And like, Dad, if you can't handle this, it's a 30-minute nap.
It's definitely relaxing.
But and obviously for the kids, it is literally they play strategic parts of the film on that 10 million P screen, and with the little bouncing ball that you're singing along to, and so it's the kids are going nuts. It's awesome. Okay, so yeah, underrated attraction at Hollywood Studios in alphabetical order. Animal Kingdom. I've always loved this. I don't know why. I think the cheese factor and just of how old it is, but it's also its location, and that's A Bug's Life. And no matter what, it always has a 5-minute wait or 10-minute wait, whatever it's posted, whatever the wait time that you see, it's the walk to get there, not
Well,
the
you gotta wait for
actual
the other show to finish too. There's only one show running too, so you do have to wait, for the show to start.
Yeah.
You know? That's the only negative. But
So it's a 4D experience. So it's inside the Tree of Life. So that's why it's a really unique and neat walk down there. You get to see the tree and all the carvings a little bit closer up. There's where you exit if you pay attention to. Well, for us, I don't know if it was where the strollers were or we just wandered back there one time. But there's on the backside of the tree, there's this amazing waterfall. And so I used to love going back there and getting like slow shutter speed pictures. So the water was real pretty. Anyway. But that's not the point of this. But like there's this really, as dated as it is, it's really cool. It's really well done. I think the screen needs to be improved. I think the 4D needs to be improved, but like they're not going to spend money on that. But it's great, and there's some cool things that happen if you haven't experienced it, like on your seats. I mean, it is definitely a 4D experience. Is that fair?
Yes, definitely.
Tis indeed. And there's some spooky stuff that happens. Like I remember we took my niece when we went in 2012 when she was 5, and there were a couple things that we didn't kind of warn her about that made it traumatic. But yeah, it's a great experience. Again, something for the whole family. I usually go because it's a 5-minute wait, but yeah, Bug's Life.
Yeah,
Rob,
I know
do you make A Bug's Life a repeat viewing, or are you like, I'm staying away from that?
Well, here's the negative. My last trip going, my kids hate that attraction. I don't know why. And my nephew hated it, and I was dying. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go alone, and I just never did. I love it. I was trying to real quick pull it up on my. I have a version like when the first time I ever saw it on my YouTube page. People go nuts because they don't really know it. Like I think it was the first year it was ever out, and I love Hopper, the animatronic. He is one of my favorite animatronics.
Oh yeah, he's a good one.
It is a must do for me personally, my family. It's a not do for them, but I love it. I think that's my number one underrated attraction on this list. So I love it.
It's nice. Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. So it's definitely cheesy, but I don't know. I just think the way it's carved into the Tree of Life, it's phenomenal. I love it. So
yeah.
But maybe they could use an update. But I love Bug's Life. I love the attractions.
I do. Like it's really good. And just to be able to get up that close to the tree is really it was really well thought out. But what's funny is I don't know, I guess that like maybe when it opened, the queue was insane because is there a longer queue at any Disney park in the world? I can't imagine. Maybe the safari's close, but
yeah, during COVID time, the safari may have been close.
That queue is just extremely long. Okay.
It's funny.
Epcot. Now this is not going to be one that's going to be like, there's not a lot of attractions at Epcot to begin with. So let's start there. But this one, I think, I don't hear a lot of people talk about it. And again, there's barely like, if there's a wait, it's 15 minutes and that's in Mexico for 3 Caballeros. Always have loved this ride for multiple reasons.
15-minute wait. What ride you going on?
No, I mean when we were there, it was looped around. I mean, it was looped around outside of their short little queue, but it was still like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that is a walk on. That's my number one thing I love about it. That it's a walk on.
Yeah, it's hardly ever a wait. Remember when Living with the Land used to be like that, and now sometimes it can be like a 40-minute wait.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like the Three Caballeros just because one, it's inside the Mexico Pavilion, which is the coolest pavilion at Epcot, and two, like the ride is cheesy. Like I would never get on Three Caballeros and be like, that's the best ride I've ever been on. Like they changed all the animatronics for screens, what's kind of cheesed it up. But like my favorite part's like when you leave the station and go past the restaurant and the Mayan temple. Like that's the coolest part of the ride. They could circle me back around and just bring me back to the station after that, and I'd be like, hey, that was a great ride. But
Rob, I would say this. So Brandon brought up a good point. I would say that reminds me of the beginning of Pirates in Disneyland.
Yeah, definitely.
Very similar.
I love the parts in Disneyland because of the restaurant.
Yes,
you know the way the queue comes out and everything, and it's pretty much very similar. And we don't have that in the Magic Kingdom for Pirates, so I really do love it. I'm a sucker for that restaurant, and I actually got twice. Unfortunately, we sat at the restaurant. They put us behind the wall where you can't even see the volcano twice.
Oh my gosh.
I was so upset about it because we had big parties. So because I love sitting in there. I just love the ambiance. I love the restaurant. I love Mexican food. And like I'll even leave my family. I'll go stand there for a while, look at it. I'll film like a time lapse of boats going by and everything. Because I just love that. I agree with Brandon. That whole attraction is great. And I've been on that ride over the years. But Brandon, you got to remember too, the old Mexico ride, there was not very great animatronics. They were like puppets, and they're not that great. They still have a couple of them, but we're not losing anything with that ride. But it's fun. Donald's fun. The Three Caballeros are fun. I've been on that ride, like I was saying, where they had a cart where the Three Caballeros were. They weren't even there.
Yeah.
At another time, there was a projection.
Yep.
It was a screen of the Three Caballeros, and then like literally, my friend went like the next week, and then they finally put him in. So. I love those guys. They're from the old school.
It is a bonus. I will say this. There's a section of this ride that is very reminiscent of Small World without the annoying song getting stuck in your head.
Yes, agreed.
So bonus.
That is why it's underrated. You don't have to, and Small World's like 47 minutes long. So this one's a good short, like I think it's an 8 or 9 minute ride, which again, really perfect ride time. Perfect atmosphere.
Yeah, it's great.
It's nice and cool. It's nice and dark. That's why I like it.
It's really well done.
And there's a tequila bar right near there.
And there's a tequila bar. Just go to the tequila bar, get back on the ride. Go on the tequila bar, get back on the ride.
It'll be a different experience.
The more margaritas you have, the more fun you will have.
It will then turn into 15 caballeros.
Okay, then to bring it home. Magic Kingdom. I've always appreciated this even before its changes, but that is PhilharMagic. I just have always thought this was really clever, like thought, like, hey, what if we did this? It's really like the plot and the story is really funny, and then how they weave it all together with Donald, and then the surprise with Donald at the end. And again, another like not your jam. Not only is it a great nap space, it's a great nap space that you can put glasses on and even further check out. So again, another 4D attraction. Typically doesn't have crazy waits, but it can from time to time.
And again, you got to wait for the show to finish to go in, so you could wait a little bit.
Yeah. The good news is they can shove a lot of people in that theater at one time.
Huge,
so generally, you're not going to wait more than 2 shows, even if you're all the way out to the door.
And the big bonus I would say is within the last few years, they transferred that film negative to digital, so it looks 100 times better. And they added Coco in there, and it is flawless and seamless. It was my first time seeing it with the Coco edition, and it was money. So good.
It's really good. It's a really good addition to that film digital experience.
I like it because there's a lot of different elements of Disney magic throughout the years. They have the Circle Vision movies. They've had the if American Adventure, the way the thing opens up, this opens up too, and it's just clever, and it really is magical. So it really. And one thing all 4 of these attractions hold, they're all cold areas where you can
yes.
I did notice that on your list.
That's what you look for at Disney. I mean, you find the air conditioning things that last more than 10 minutes. Like that's
so when I said like, hey, this is great for the whole family, I had to count dads for naps, right? Like 100%. that men are going to be like, why on earth would I do this? Oh, they meant this for nap time.
Oh, we should listen to these guys more often.
Yes.
But I think that the attraction is just overlooked. It's just where it is too. It's just kind of you could definitely overlook it. It's kind of behind the castle, kind of
stuck around the more popular stuff, Peter Pan and Small World. Like everybody beelines past it because they're like, I got to go wait in line for 4.5 hours for Peter Pan. Like we got to hurry up and get there.
Even next to it has like a princess meet and greet kind of thing.
Yeah,
like, I've never been there. Yeah, just never been there. So like that area just doesn't get frequented by
the Bippity Boppity Boutique is right next door, and the carousel kind of blocks it. But it's definitely overlooked. But I think it's definitely one we hit every time that we go.
Yeah, it's fine. So there you go.
That was
our
good.
trip recap. What like we didn't talk. Well, I guess we got to talk about the 100th, but like I feel like that. Okay, we didn't talk about that. There wasn't. I didn't notice a lot of 100th stuff.
It all seemed to be like coming later. Like they just put up a 100th sign outside of Animal Kingdom. They just put up a 100th sign at Disney Springs. What I'm really looking forward to is the 100th show, not the nighttime spectacular at Epcot, but whatever 100th show they put on the ball. Spaceship Earth. They're going to do some sort of thing that's promised to be full of Disney magic and nostalgia and things like that. So I'm super excited about that.
It seems like I think we talked about this in the past. Disneyland, it seems like it's more invested in the 100 than
which stinks.
Then they have 100 outside the train station by Magic Kingdom.
Yes, I think they just put that up too.
Yeah, so
it's all slowly coming around.
I think that happened while we were there, but the day we were there, like there was nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Like they had just pulled the 50th like a couple weeks before, and like I'm pretty sure the day after we went, I think we went to Magic Kingdom on Monday. I think Tuesday they put up the 100. I was like, man,
but Disney, they're like, this is going to last for 14 and a half months.
Right.
We'll
I'll see it 67 more times.
It's going to the 105-year anniversary.
We'll get it up eventually.
That's the third time Brandon referenced time lapses. I'm going to have a shot next time. Every time he does the time lapse. I love that, Brandon. Like I said earlier, it's funny.
Dude, this was great.
It's a good show.
This was a good
one, you guys.
This was a good one.
I like it.
Well, congratulations on the season pass. I was excited.
Yeah, Dave, welcome back to the family. Like I'm used to seeing you like 5-6 times a year, and like you didn't come down here for a year and a half. It was weird. It
was lonely. I was like, Rob probably heard me before we were on. Kim was still sitting in here in the home theater room in the couch, and I was like, it's like I'm thinking about August. Like, what do you think about August? She's like, what, with the $5,000 you have sitting in your pocket? I'm like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
About next week. What are you talking about? That's awesome.
Because they have, I mean, we didn't talk, but like now that I'm back on the annual pass program, like through like the like late summer, which is like late September or at least middle of September. I can't remember. I feel like it's September 28th. You can get 25% off of Pop Century, bro.
That's great.
Because car rental costs $8,000. I'd rather stay on property and save that money. And yeah, it was, so we'll see. Because I promised Makai I would bring her back.
Yeah. I'll only charge if Pop Century charges you like $140 a night. I'll only charge you $100, and you can stay right here.
Nice.
With my daughter.
With your daughter.
Okay.
Very nice. So in your mind, how many times you got to hit it to get your money's worth? Three
technically,
trips?
I think you have to go 12 days. To break even. So I know like I was doing that before. My guess is I'm probably going to lose it on this one. My guess is I'll probably get to do 8. I'll do 4 with each kid, but maybe I'll get lucky. Like when I come down there for the 500, maybe I can come a day early and like we can Brandon and I can sneak in. And now that I have a pass, it'll be a whole lot easier to just be like, oh, let's go for a few hours. Like it changes. Or even after the 500, stay a day and maybe go meander around a couple of parks and
very nice.
Some options
guys.
This is great. It was great to reconnect. Sorry it was so long us getting back. We skipped a week, but we're back on the saddle.
We're back. Yes, back, Jack.
All right.
Until next time,
bicycle.
Peace.
Later, guys. Woo.
Oh, Rob was really excited that time. He's getting more excited each time.